Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody. I think you're going to run into them, or they're going to go out of their way to show up at your place. This could be somebody who is making a phone call, but in general, the writer, RIDER, is somebody who is showing up in person. And they generally have news. I feel like this is somebody who tells you a different perspective than one you've already heard. So you could already have some insight into somebody's relationship ending. For some of you, this could be somebody who passed away. My condolences if that's true. But there's an ending here. It could be why somebody no longer works where they work. And you're going to get the other side, somebody else's perspective, and it could ring more true than what you've already heard. Kind of exposing somebody for trying to make things sound better than they actually are. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a great day so far. Hello, Kagi. Hello, Jess. How we doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below. Let's go with the Earth and Bone Oracle and see what else we've got for you. What else do we have? Number 13, crossed, choices, stuck, searching for purpose, daydreaming, and indecision. So I feel like this is probably mostly about indecision, somebody who feels like they need to understand what happened in a situation, and they don't feel like they have all the information or something doesn't sit right with them. 19, stoicism, peaceful, harmonious, receptiveness, manifestation. So there's something about how somebody tells the story. You may have gotten the first chapter or the first perspective from somebody that was being a bit emotional or maybe has a reputation for exaggeration. And I feel like this individual who's showing up to give you additional information is somebody who is a little bit more reserved or not as emotional about this conversation. All right. This is What's the News. Hello, Santiago. I like it. Yeah, that happens. Hello, Miriam. How are you? It's cold. I agree. What else do we have? We have the blues, red flagged, and paranoid. So remember I was telling you there's two different stories, maybe more, but two prominent stories, right? You get one person's side, then you hear somebody else's side. And one person's overly emotional. Maybe they're trying to manipulate you by using those emotions. Maybe they're just struggling to compose themselves. But I do feel like you pick up on one person seeming to be much more emotional. And I think that sets off little alarms for you. Like maybe this person isn't telling me the truth, or maybe this person's paranoid. This could be somebody who is prone to jumping to conclusions and not really knowing what's going on, or maybe even somebody who enjoys telling a little story. What else do we have? Is that just one? We have laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. And repo, default on payments, financially incapable, and repossessed assets. So whoever was kind of manipulating the details in terms of why something ended, for many of you, this is a relationship. It feels to me like you picked up on one person being able to create a new life or move on to that next chapter a little bit more quickly or easily than another person. And I feel like the person who probably told you their story first is or was trying to hide financial issues and maybe trying to blame whoever they were with to hide that, right? So you could be having somebody show up and tell you about a relationship where there were financial issues primarily with their partner, maybe overspending or not saving or not paying the bills. And there was evidence of this. We've got lipstick evidence, infidelity, caught cheating, and betrayal. I don't think that for all of you there was infidelity in this situation that has ended, but I do feel like there was a sense of betrayal, particularly associated with what is owned. Is there a car that's been repossessed? Did somebody get evicted? There were consequences here for somebody not doing right by their financial obligations, and that impacted this relationship. I feel like that's what somebody left out or didn't want other people to find out about. So we have the Sansa Muerte. What else do we have? We have the Three of Wands, Six of Cups in the reverse, and the World. Yeah, it really does feel like there's somebody here who has a reputation for not exactly remembering things correctly or not being willing to admit their part in an argument. So there's somebody who left or, a relationship that ended. And the reason that it ended was a source of, shame for this person. Now, I don't really like shame. It's pretty lame. But this is like a call to action for this person to realize that you got to work on the things that you don't like instead of just kind of gloss over them or lie about them. Not that you have to tell everybody your business. If you're having financial issues, that's really nobody's business. But if you're in a relationship with somebody, if you have shared finances, you got to be able to communicate about those things. We have the Hermit in the reverse, Page of Pentacles, Emperor in the reverse. This is like somebody got scammed. Could have been like a payday loan, volcano insurance. I mean, that's probably appropriate for some areas in the world. Okay, don't get me wrong. There are actual volcanoes out there. But this is somebody who paid for something or bought too much of something. This is being frivolous with your money. And I feel like for the majority of you, whoever they were in a relationship with or whoever's finances they were impacting, for some of you, this could be a family situation. They were not willing to take advice for anyone. So this could be like a shopping addiction. Nine of Wands. The Tower. And the Six of Wands. There could be somebody, this relationship could have been a little uneven, right? One person could have been feeling like they were the workhorse and they did all of the work or they made all the money and the other person just kind of squandered it. But I do feel like there was somebody who felt like they had to defend what was theirs. I don't want to keep doing this. I feel like you spend money that you don't have to, or, you never listen to me. You don't talk to me about these purchases. Things could get resolved if you were communicating with me, but you don't. So in order for me to be successful, something major has to change. If you're not willing to change, then I have to remove myself from the situation. So it does feel like a collapse of communication. You know, if you're not going to talk to me about what's going on, then I don't think we're able to move past this, right? Strength, 10 of Swords in the reverse. Wow. So the Emperor in the reverse is clarified by the Empress. Now remember, we don't want to get too caught up on genders here because we all have feminine and masculine energy. But this is somebody that is acknowledging that they're able to move on from whatever their situation is. They can recover or they can build a new life. They don't have to sit around and deal with somebody who is willing to lie about the situation or unwilling to approach it with a genuine desire to make things better or improve what is broken. This is standing up for what you feel like you deserve. All right. This is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have? Number 7, the snake. Number 5, the tree. From this betrayal or dealing with this ending, we have the silver lining in the cloud being one person finding the strength to say enough. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I don't want to put up with your irresponsible behavior. We've tried to work on this. You don't talk to me. So I guess thank you for pushing me far enough where I realize this is no longer for me. You know? Congrats. Your unwillingness to change has pushed me to a place where I decide I'm going to change. Hello there, Hope. How are you doing today? Did I say hello to Rachel? How are you, hon? We've got number 15, the bear. This talks about strength, and we just had the strength card. And then we also have number 38, which is bridges, and this talks about connections. If at one point somebody was brass enough to say, I'm all you got, or you can't hack it on your own, or nobody else will help you, they were wrong. There are people that want to support this Empress individual that is walking away from this relationship or has ended financial situation that wasn't working for them. They find out who's really on their side or cheering for them, but they also find out what they're capable of, which I think is a lot. Number 26 and number 20. It's the book, which talks about secrets or wisdom, and the garden, which talks about community. I mean, it's interesting. On the one hand, I see this as kind of like the hair salon. You walk into the hair salon, everybody's gossiping. Maybe not every hair salon out there, but every time I've sat in that chair, what is expected is a little bit of, so what's been going on? Oh, did you hear is that what they're doing? Oh, I can't believe they made that choice. So I feel like there is some level of people talking about what happened. Why did this relationship end? Why did so-and-so move out? Why is this? And again, somebody has misled multiple people trying to keep this secret, right? Oh, well, I actually spent all their money, That seems like a pretty good reason to leave someone. So it feels to me like there is kind of a little exposure happening. Whatever this person was trying to hide is coming out because they were lying about it. Now, one other way you can handle this is that's my business. However things ended, I don't have to tell you, right? You can choose to keep things private. And in general, that works better if you both feel that way. But certainly don't go around trying to vilify the other person if you don't want the truth to come out, would be my, the observation. This is the Pulp Tarot. Hello, the upper echelon. How are we doing? I love it. All right. What else do we have? So this person who was overly emotional is finding out that their little story isn't being believed. They may kind of try to double down. They may not be willing to give up on their side of the story. They might be louder, but that doesn't mean people believe you more. Yeah, it's like this person feels like maybe if they stomp and cry and make things awkward, that people will believe them. Nope. It becomes more and more clear that the other person who has stayed calm and has, talked about things in a factual manner as opposed to trying to name call or, malign somebody. It's hard to be taken seriously if you're going to act immature in this kind of context, right? So this King of Swords knows how to communicate, but also probably doesn't give off those telltale signs of maybe I'm fabricating what I'm talking about. I don't know a lot of people who know how to lie and make it not seem like they're lying, okay? I know a lot of people who think they do. I sure do. Doesn't mean I'm going to say right to your face, hey, did you know that like right now I can tell you're lying to me? Should I tell you how? Let me just get out my notes real quick. Okay, so first you did this and then you did... No. If you're going to be doing me the disservice of lying to me, I have no obligation to tell you that I know about it. Go on. Let me see what it is you're trying to convince me of. This should be good. So we have people that might even be listening to this person trying to say what happened or why things ended, who might actually know the truth. And they're just like, really? That's fascinating. You believe this guy? You believe her? The truth is becoming more readily available to this community, and the person who thought they were able to kind of control the narrative or make sure people believed them is really just exposing themselves to be a little bit raw or a little bit overly emotional. Not so great at reading the room. This person's just kind of making things awkward, to be honest. And a lot of these people wouldn't even judge this person if that's what was going on. It's the fact that they're lying about it that makes it really lame, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. We all have difficult times. We all have times where we don't have the money we were hoping to have, But this person trying to hide that and vilify their ex is really just making something worse than it needs to be and making them seem kind of petty or immature. For some of you, this person's even lying about who ended things. It might have been their partner, but they're telling people they ended it. They could be fabricating some sort of betrayal that the other person did, like, oh, well, they cheated on me when you didn't, or when they didn't. Just trying to avoid responsibility. But there's information that doesn't line up. We've got Page of Wands in the reverse and the Five of Wands. So it could be, oh, well, at this party, my ex met and like cheated on me with so-and-so. And then the person they're talking to is like, but I was with that person that night and they weren't even at that party. The facts don't fact, it's just not, it's not a believable lie, or the details that they present don't make sense. So with the Five of Wands, people kind of like look back at this person like, really? like only a 5th grade level of lying. Like, try harder. Like, first, honesty is way better. But if you're gonna lie, don't like also insult my intelligence. You know? 8 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. 10 of Cups in the reverse. It's a lot of water energy. So we could have Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio featured prominently in your chart or their chart. But more importantly, this is somebody who was trying to lie or create an illusion about why somebody walked away, about why a happy home is no longer a happy home, why somebody moved out. All you had to do is say it's not your business. That's all you had to do. But no, you had to go and tell some weird tale. Sorry, I'm all judgy. I'll try to tone it down a little bit, you guys. I don't like the lying. You know, there's really no reason. The people who are going to judge you for making mistakes when they are like honest mistakes, they're not worth it anyways. The people who don't judge you for the mistakes you make could help you get out of those situations. Pride and ego don't really mix with trying to be your best self. So we have number 13, death. Remember we had the coffin at the start. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? So this person was relying on the fact that there was some ambiguity or privacy in this relationship, and perhaps they could kind of, get away with a little bit of fibbing, get away with a little bit of poetic exaggeration. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune again. Number 10, never to suffer would never to have been blessed. So that's what this other person is realizing. The person who was in the relationship with this individual that was struggling to manage their finances is realizing I've learned a lot. I know what my boundaries are. And I also know that I'm capable of doing things on my own. So it feels to this person like it's actually kind of a good thing that this happened the way it did, because they've been able to find strength in their departure from this. So we have the 8 of Wells or the 8 of Cups. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Thank you for teaching me that I deserve better, because I put myself in that situation and I did not choose to change it for so long. I realize now that I was saying that was good enough for me. I was saying it was okay that you didn't communicate with me, or that you tried to blame me for things. You didn't want to actually fix the situation, but you pushed me far enough to realize that I can walk away, that I can end this, that I don't need to be in this relationship, that I don't need to put up with somebody who's willing to make me out to be the bad guy because they don't want to accept the fact that they were messing things up. And it's almost never that easy. It's almost never that clean. There's almost always ownership on both sides, right? Nobody's perfect, but this was somebody who wanted to really just say, oh, I did nothing wrong. I was perfect. I was a little angel. I'm sure. Okay, I heard that before. Oh, I can't reach it. I have my little T-Rex arms. All right, this is the Fairy Godmother Oracle. Hello, Holy Yoga. How are you doing? Hello, Dr. Emery. How's your weekend? So we've got abandonment. And insecurity. So the individual that was not managing their money quite well has been basically playing into their fears of abandonment or their insecurity. And I think, I kind of hate the phrase, but kind of playing victim. So we have somebody that is trying to gain sympathy votes, or get people on their side by telling a sad story, and get there before somebody else tells them the truth. This is more Edgar Allan Poe for you. I don't even know if I told you that was the Poe Tarot. All right, what else do we have? Queen of Swords in the reverse. And I don't know if you've seen this card, but it's the biggest sword I've ever seen. If someone could help me get one like that, that would be much appreciated. They're not too expensive, right? That's as tall as she is. Like, I want that. How do you even pick that up? You'd be like, you figure it out. It's probably really light, right, you guys? I could do it. Do I need to work out? We've got the King of Cups in the reverse. Again, overly emotional and willing to lie. This is somebody who has been refusing to deal with what has made them upset, refusing to deal with what has put them in the situation, and finds it easier to blame others, or finds it easier to externalize these things, right? They don't want to admit that they could change this. Two of Swords in the reverse, Six of Cups. So even though there are good memories, or even though I've known you for a long time, or we've even been together for a long time, for some of you, you might have children together, even though that might be true, I have to make a decision because you hold me back from being able to manage my finances, you know? I'm picturing somebody who's trying to just have a nice little float down the river in, I don't know, a kayak or a raft. Well, probably more like a canoe, right? Because that's where a second person really starts to mess you up. I remember being on the Upper Iowa with some friends, and they were, well, I think we all were drinking, and it doesn't mix, okay? We were in the canoe and it tipped over. I wear contacts, and I was wearing contacts that day. I came up, after the capsize, and we got back in the boat. We get downstream just a little bit more and find a dead cow is in the river. And I'm like, oh God. Oh, the water was on my mouth. That's so gross. It only takes one person, though. You could probably do just fine if it was just you in that kayak or just you in that canoe, but one person moves the wrong way, everybody gets tipped over. That's how we have somebody perceiving the finances. I would try to make things right, and then 2 days later, you'd make another purchase, or you'd make another decision that was foolish, or you'd do something else and not talk to me about it. Hello there, Thomas. How are you doing? So we have the Tower in the reverse and Strength in the reverse. This person felt like they had to end the relationship before something serious happened. We had the Repo card come out. So there could have been a fear that maybe a house would get repossessed. Something serious could happen unless they moved out, got divorced, whatever it was. I've got to be able to protect my own financial future. And if you aren't going to get on board, canoe jokes. You can hang out with the dead cow in the river. Gross. But it's serious though, like you gotta change, or I'm gonna have to venture off on my own because I can't be cleaning up your messes every 2 days. So we have the Devil and the Nine of Swords. This person who basically now is finally having this reality check. Okay, I guess that means I have to change. Because now I can't rely on somebody else to pay my bills for me, Now it is just me. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse and the World. Now that I know I can't rely on somebody else to bail me out, I'm going to have to get a real job, or I'm going to have to not get fired from my job, or I'm going to have to start saving money. I'm going to have to start budgeting, right? This person's going to learn responsibility eventually. I laugh because there are plenty of people who don't, but like, let me hope, okay? I got faith. So we have the 10 of Cups. We have somebody that is looking for a new home or building a new home. This could be both individuals. And the Fool, yeah. A new beginning. I mean, really for both of them, right? But it does look to me like there's not really going to be a way to bridge this again. This relationship doesn't seem to be worth the trouble to the person who was trying to communicate about things. So we have somebody that's sticking to their principles and saying, I'm sorry, I really don't see how this is going to work. You're not willing to change what has caused us this stress or anxiety. All right, I'll pull a few from the Kipper and then I probably have to go. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? Hello, dude. I hope you're having a good weekend. We've got a house. So I do feel like there are people that were living together and immature woman. Technically, it's mature woman in the reverse, but we know. Leave that gender where it needs. Maybe it doesn't apply. But we have somebody who is immature regarding the running of a household or the finances pertaining to it. And as a result, somebody had to make a decision and separate. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Hello there, Phoenix of Truth. Be good, and I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.